So, in the last class, we were discussing about the topic, the weather forecast. Weather forecast means the prediction of a weather. The prediction of a weather is based on the previous data and the observations. The things which are observed by the data, the things which are observed on the form of data. For example, in a month, in a 30 days of a month, 25 days there is a rain and 5 days there is a sun. So 5 days are sunny and 25 days are rainy. So what is the chance for the 31st day that it's a rainy day or a sunny day? There is a major chance that there is a rainy day. Why? Because 25 days of a month are rain. So it's a major chance is of rainy day and very less chance for having a sunny day. So the prediction for the future is based on the previous data. Now, how is the information in the weather forecast above tell us this thing? So it comes from the different observations done at meteorological stations. So the stations which done some of the observations, these stations are designed for the weather forecasting. Meteorological stations find out the weather. They tell us that there is a hurricane, there is a tsunami, there is a rainstorm, there is a sandstorm. So they tell these things in the country. Most countries have more than one meteorological stations located at different parts of the country. The bigger the country is, the more the meteorological stations are there. This is especially in a large countries where the climate in the north may differ from the in the south. So the countries, those who are very big in size, so they have a different weather in one part of the country as comparison with the other part of the country. In large countries, a coastal location, a sea location can have weather which is different from a place that is located further in the inland. In the yesterday's class, we also saw that thing that the city has a high temperature and the areas near the sea, near the water, have a less temperature. Temperature, air pressure, wind direction, and speed, including rainfall and cloud information, is sent to weather forecasting. So, what are the things which can be used to find out the prediction? They need temperature, previous temperatures of many days, even years. They need a air pressure history of that area. They need a wind direction of, for example, 5 months or 1 year, 2 months, or more than 1 year. They need a speed of the wind in that area, and they need a rainfall and cloud information, that what type of cloud are there, what type of rain is falling in that area continuously in the previous years or in the months. So after that, they can capable or they can predict that this thing can happen. Then they can predict then this thing will happen. So these are some factors which are required in the weather forecasting. For example, if I ask you, tell me any two things, tell me any two factors which are necessary for weather forecasting. So here are six factors: temperature, air pressure, wind direction, speed, rainfall, and cloud. These are the factors which make the weather forecast. So according to these six, the weather map can be drawn. The weather map can be drawn. Symbols are used. As we know, the symbols are the basic part. The symbol are the basic part of the map. If there is no symbol on the map, then it's difficult to understand. It's difficult to understand the map. So symbols are used on the weather map to show whether the to show the weather at a place is like. For example, we see the news of a weather forecast of a hurricane or a tornado or a rainfall in the news. We see it. They are showing like a cloud and some rains. So they draw it on that computer, on that monitor. How they are showing it? By making the map of it. Weather, weather satellites. Weather satellites provide pictures of a cloud. Weather satellites, each and every type of satellite is expensive. So the countries, those who have much money, they can build their own satellite or even they can purchase their satellites. So weather satellites provide the picture of a cloud cover. Okay, because clouds are our cover and they make the earth warm or cold. So they provide the picture of a cloud cover so that meteorologist can predict what changes in the weather to expect. So because of those pictures, the experts, the meteorologist, the person, those who defines that what type of weather or what type of climate is now be. So these are the person who decided it. So they see these pictures from those satellite stations. From weather satellite stations, they got those pictures. Weather satellites travel around the earth and send back information to scientists on it. Remember, the satellites are the expensive thing. So the countries, those who are rich countries can easily buying them, or even they can build those satellites. Now, now we discuss about this weather forecast. Now there is a one more topic given at the end of the page. It's how to read a weather forecast. How to read a weather forecast. So figure 6.23, you can just see the picture. In this picture, they are just telling the way that how you can read it. So no need to go in the depth in that topic, and you can simply put the small cross at the corner here. So we are not going to read this paragraph. It's just for reading the weather information. We know how to understand the centigrades and the temperature. We are moving towards the next one. So everybody open the page number 78. On the page number 78, there is a question. What is the weather like today? It's an activity. So right now we are not performing the activity. It's just a question. We will do it, but once we are reaching towards the question. So moving from page 78 to page 79. Page number 79 is telling us the topic. Is our climate changing? Is our climate changing? It's a topic 6.6. What does that topic is saying? Climate change is an entirely natural process. Climate and weather, these two are different things. They are not same. They are two different things and they are not same. And climate is entirely a natural process. Entirely means completely. Entirely means completely. It's a natural process. Nature can change it. We can't have a power to change it completely. We have some precautions for it, but doesn't have a 100% grip on the climate change. But we can do some activities which can change the climate, but not 100%. Okay, so the Earth climate has changed many times in its history. It is believed that there was a time when the temperature on the Earth has dropped so low that it was covered with ice. There is a saying regarding this thing. As it is mentioned, it is believed that. So there is a saying regarding this thing when the Big Bang occurs. So at that time, when the Big Bang occurs, and Earth is the piece of the stone or the rock which is broken from any big planet. Okay, so at that time, the piece of that rock, today that piece of rock is called as the earth. That piece of rock is a fireball because it's very hot. At that time, it's a fireball. And after millions of years, that fireball cools down. Gradually, it cools down after millions of years. And when it cools down, then there is a ultimate ice age. There is a ultimate session of ice age. At that time, there is nothing. At that time, the earth becomes the snowball. There is snow everywhere. It's very cold down. And then at that time, the flower starts growing. According to the science, the life starts in this way. And when the flower grows, flower a plant. When the plant starts growing, then this is the start of a life. So at that time, it become very cool. So today, many scientists think that the Earth's temperature is increasing. Yes, it's true. It's true that today's the Earth temperature is increasing because there are so many reasons for it. There are so many reasons for it for the increment in the temperature. The increase is largely due to us. Why? Because we are doing some major activities which putting the stress on the climate, and because of that stress, the climate is changing. The things we do, of course, it is difficult to separate climate change, which is natural. There are two things. The climate is changing by the nature, but we are also doing the things which can put the effect on the climate. What those sort of effect? For example, the basic example is burning a carbon dioxide. Burning a coal or burning a petrol will basically generate the carbon dioxide. and carbon dioxide get the heat. Get the heat. If there is a more carbon dioxide, the more heat is there. Where the place where the carbon dioxide is much, then the heat is much at that place. So we will consider that example of carbon dioxide in the next paragraph. How it is possible that we can change the climate? If we look closely at what we have been doing in our daily life to keep ourselves comfortable and to produce food and the things we use every day, we will better understand that how we are bringing the change in the climate. We are highly dependent on electricity. We are highly dependent on electricity in almost all areas of our life. In every country, every city, every region, in every area, we are depending on the electricity so much. Yes, to make electricity, coal, natural gas, or oil is burned. Okay, burning of these fuels release the greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide. So when someone is putting the petrol in the car, so ultimately they will generate the carbon dioxide because the car will generate the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. When there is a large amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, more heat is trapped, and therefore there is a higher global temperature. So if you put the carbon dioxide in a one area, so that area will be hot. Why? Because the carbon dioxide will get the heat. It absorbs the heat. It absorbs the heat. This gas has a power to get absorb the heat. Now this has created this has created an enhanced greenhouse effect. Enhanced means increasing. It will in create or it will increase the effect of the greenhouse gases. Figure 6.24 shows some of the human activities that cause the greenhouse effect. So let's see those activities. On the page number 79, the activities are given on the figure 6.24. What those activities are? Human activities that increase the emission of greenhouse gases. The word emission, the word emission means generating, generate. So the activities which generate the greenhouse gases much more. Yes, Tashrik, you are right. Tashrik said that at this time people can't live without Wi-Fi. Yes, Wi-Fi also has some effect, but they have very less or minor effect. But they have some effect. So this become the need. It is not possible to didn't use the car. Is it possible for the people of the world that we can not use the car or bus or any vehicle? It's not possible. But we can control it. So figure 6.24 is telling us about the things. First, we will see we have agriculture activities, release methane and nitrous oxide. People put the fertilizer in the crops so that they will grow. Then we have aerosol cans release CFCs. Okay, in simple word, it's just a carbon dioxide, not good for the health. Solar. Now, the third thing we have is a solar radiation reflected back to space by clouds. By clouds. So the solar radiation is there by the clouds. Then incoming solar radiation from the sun. The radiation is coming towards the sun, and also the radiation is going towards from the earth. So it become more hot and hot. If you add two hot things, the things will not cool down. It will make the things more hot and hot. So when when the things are releasing the carbon dioxide and the dangerous materials, and ultimately it will make what? It will make the radiation, it will make the earth hot, and ultimately the sun is also giving us a radiation. So one radiation coming from the sun, one radiation we are making in the world, ultimately all this radiation is getting the heat. So heat is trapped in the atmosphere. Ultimately, if we are putting up many factories in that area, the temperature of that area become hot. Why? Because in that area the factories will generate so much smoke, and that smoke will affecting the health or health of the people of those areas. If you notice, the people who live near the factories or the organizations which producing the smoke, their health are not good. Why? Because they are consuming the dangerous air in their nose. Why they are consuming it? Because they are living near the factories. So burning fossil fuels in factories releases the carbon dioxide, nitrous oxides, and sulfur dioxide. All these chemicals are very much harmful for the human body to consume. If any human can consume them, that person will get ill or become sick. So the people, those who are living near the factories, those people will get sick easily because they are consuming that dangerous smoke which is releasing from the factories, and they are consuming it by their nose. So that's why the factories are normally made in that area where there is no population. But as the population grows, people are going and living near the factories. If there is no space left, then people will ultimately go near the factories, and ultimately they will get sick because of that smoke. So these are the some activities. Some are also mentioned. Let me scroll down the page. What those are: vehicle release carbon dioxide and nitrous oxide, and clearing and burning of forest release the carbon oxide. Forest are, people can cut the forest. Many countries are cutting the forest. Why? To get the land, to get the land, and when they get the land, to build the houses. You know, the trees, the forest are the lungs of earth. Forests are the lungs of earth. We took breath from the lungs. What do we do with our lungs? We take a breath. When we take inhale and exhale are two operations. For example, when we are taking the air in with the help of our nose, it's inhale. So our lungs are getting filled with the air. And when we taking out the air from our nose, so our lungs will exhale. So it's an inhale and exhale. So in this way, we took a breath. In the same way, the earth will take a breath with the help of the forest. If there is no forest, then there is very less rain or no rain. So these forests work as a lungs for a earth. So cutting down these will put harmful effect on the climate. Cutting down these will put the harmful effect. The world largest forests are the Amazon forest. Okay, these forests are also called as the lungs of the earth. Okay, these are the biggest forests ever in the world. Now on the page number 80, what do we have on the page number 80? Yes, Tashrik shared a very good point that in some countries like Japan, they are investing the electrical cars to reduce the use of petrol. Yes, Tashrik, you are very much right. Not only in the cars, they are trying to make the things which can be operated on the electrical cars or on the solar panels. Okay, there are so many things. I saw one student. He told me, sir, my whole home has electricity. He told me that my whole home is based on the solar electricity. I asked him that how it's become the solar energy. He said, sir, we put the solar panel. We put the solar panel on the home, and these solar panels will absorb the light from the sun, and we store that light in the battery. And it's a very easy to store the light and store it in the battery, and they are using the electricity from that battery. Yes, it can be possible. It can be possible. It's expensive, but it can be possible through this. If you make it like this, you didn't have to pay the bill for the electricity. Why? Because you can use the electric solar panel, you can purchase your own battery, and without burning any petrol, without using any electricity of the organization, you can generate your own electricity as per your home requirement. In this way, there are two benefits. What those benefits are: first, you didn't have to pay the bill each month. Secondly, you didn't have to release the fuels, the carbon dioxide, because for the electricity generation normally they use the coal or the natural gas, or they use the petrol to make electricity. So if we make the electricity with the help of a solar panel, it will not generate anything. It will just give us electricity. It will not generate anything harmful for the environment. It would be the very much blessing. Now Yes, very good. Malik shared a very good point. That's right. Malik shared people are using the wind power. Excellent, excellent. Tashreeq and Malik, you guys put the best options. Okay. Yes, people are using it. 20 or 25 years back, the wind making electricity from the wind is very expensive. But right now they are making the big turbines. There is a only expense for one time. They make a big turbines for once. And when they are done with the making the turbines, they put them in that area which is windy and there is no buildings. So when the turbines move, that turbines generate the energy and they convert that energy into the electrical ones. So there is only one time expense and then there is no cost, there is just electricity. So yes, you guys are right. Abdullah Khalaf is saying electricity is harmful to the environment. Electricity is not a harmful. The procedure to make the electricity is a depends. For example, if you are making electricity from the biofuel, okay, then it is not dangerous. If you are making the electricity from the petrol, from the coal, or from the natural gas, then it's dangerous. So that's good. So that's good. Abdullah Khalaf, Tashreeq, and Malik, you guys shared the very good points with the class. Very well done. So the evidence of climate change. Evidence means the proof. So the proof of climate change. How do scientists know that there is a climate change? They study things such as amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and the temperature and measure the sea level. Data is collected for many years, and the scientists make comparisons to see if any changes have occurred. For example, I'm just giving you the simple example to understand the comparison. For example, if there is a student in class 2, that student is getting the marks 98. Okay, 98% he got the total marks, 98%. In the class 3, they are getting the 99%. In class 4, they are getting the 100%. So if in the class 5, if someone is observing or make a comparison, so what do we say? The student is getting improve or getting better, or student is getting down. What do we say? The student got the 98% marks in class 2, 99% marks in class 3, 100% marks in class 4. So the student is getting better or getting down. What do you say?
Sir, getting better.
Getting better. Student is getting improved. So how did you get this answer? You get it on the comparison. You compare the number 99 with the 98 and you compare it with the 100. So in the same way, the scientists are compare the temperature of the previous year. Not only the temperature, but also the sea level. The sea level sometimes drops down and sometimes rise up. So they are checking that the temperature, the carbon dioxide in the previous year, the carbon dioxide is this much in the air. Right now it's this. Temperature in the 10 years back is not is this. And right now the temperature is much. So they are comparing it and then they check it, the climate is change in that area. So scientists have observed the temperature on Earth has increased. Yes, it's 100%, it's 101% sure that the temperature is increased because we are moving towards the global warming. Even the temperature of the oceans has increased. The temperature of the ocean, the temperature of the sea, the temperature of the water is even increased because of the human activities and also because of the solar radiation. Then, if you see, let me scroll down the page. If you see in the figure 6.25, in this, they are telling the pictures. The first picture is basically showing a global temperature. Why? Because if people cutting down the trees, if there are no forest, then what will happen? That place will become desert. Water will not sustain in that place. If there is a rain in the desert, will water saved in the desert? No, it's not possible. So increased global temperature, desertification, then global temperature. What will happen when the global temperature arises? Glaciers and the ice sheets melts. Okay, these ice sheets melts. These are the glaciers. These are the ice glaciers, and they starts melting. They are very big in size. They are even bigger than the buildings. Okay, so they starts melting. Then what will happen? When they starts melting, animal and plants are endangered, food supply may affected. So when there is a there is a bear, there is a white bear. If you see the white bear is only found in the areas which have ice. They live in those areas where there are glaciers or much snow. They can't live in those areas which are warm or there is no snow. They will die. They will die if they are living in that area. They will die because their body structure is made by the god in such a way that they can live easily in the snow or in the cold place. So because of this glacier and the ice sheet melts, they will become endangered, they will become die. So the third thing, melt water flows into the river, so the temperature rises, and because of that temperature, ice and the glaciers melt. And what will happen when they melt? The melt water flows into the river and oceans, rise in a sea level. There is a limit. For example, you are drinking a water. So you are putting up the water in the glass. So there is a limit in the glass. What will happen when you continuously putting up the water inside the glass? At one time, when the limit cross, the water will coming out from the glass. In the same way, when the water which is melts down from the glacier, it's coming in the sea, and the sea level is done, sea level is filled, where would that water will go? That water will go towards the city, and it will become the tsunami. So that's why this global temperature is affecting on the climate. Then it become the tsunami. And what will happen after that? The fourth point, when the tsunami is there, they are showing the human settlements are destroyed because of the tsunami. The human settlement, we settled our house, offices, banks, and all the organizations, they all got the water, and it's not possible to live in them. So this, because of this melt water, excessive melt water, tsunami will came, and all the human settlements will be destroyed. What is the fourth thing after that? The fourth thing is flooding of low lying and coastal areas. So there is a flood everywhere. There is a flood and the tsunami everywhere. Infrastructure, every structure will be destroyed and demolished. Infrastructure such as roads are destroyed. There are no roads because there is a water everywhere. And when the water stays for a longer time on the road, it will broke that road. Roads can be broken if the water stays on the road. So all these things will have a major impact on the climate. All these things which we are doing, burning the coal, burning the petrol, or burning the natural gas, or do the things like cutting the forest to get the land, all these things have a major impact on the climate change, not only for the country but also for the world, for the whole world. So this is a figure 6.25 which we discussed, and this is a proof and the consequences of the climate changes. This is a proof that if this thing happen, then what will happen after that? If the flood is there, all the things will be destroyed. The melt, the water which is excessive water will come. The humans, houses, or the things which human made, they will get destroyed. If the glacier melts, then the animal and some species are endangered and they become lifeless. And if the temperature rises, the desertification is there. If the temperature rises, there will be less rain. Now there is assignment is there available in the class slide. You guys can open the assignment. The time of the period is finished. We will meet in the next class, inshallah. So bye everyone.